I would definitely agree.
Have you ever noticed this really weird thing that the girls of Teen Mom used to do? For years, many people didn't realize that a lot of the moms were actually wearing wigs in some scenes. And the unbelievable reason why they did this will leave you shocked. Over the years, the girls from Teen Mom franchise have changed the cut and color of their hair so many times. But sometimes the different hairstyles we saw in the show were really just wigs. In several scenes, Chelsea Hoska DeBoer wore wigs that looked truly bizarre. In season 2 of Teen Mom 2, Chelsea changed her hair color from medium dark brown to very light blonde, but in the third episode, her hair looked a little darker than usual and extremely messy. The wig Chelsea was wearing was styled in a curly updo, and it made appearances in a few scenes. It looked like a wild messy bun, and the side swept bangs were sometimes pinned down flat. At the time, it wasn't super easy to notice this right away, but now it's a completely different story. Now that the episodes have been aired again and rewatched many times, a lot of social media users have compared Chelsea's infamous wig to her natural hair. Some people have even put together side-by-side comparisons, which make the wig look even worse. But Chelsea wasn't the only one faking a hairstyle that season. Leah Meeser also wore a wig in some episodes, and hers were bleach blonde with very subtle waves. It also had side swept bangs and was usually seen pulled into a side ponytail. But one scene in particular was exceptionally interesting. In episode 11, a small clip of Leah's daughter standing in front of an armchair was played in the beginning of a scene. And what was crazy was that Leah's blonde wig was actually hanging from the arm of the chair. But still, many viewers didn't realize that she or any of the teen moms were wearing wigs until years later. And the reasons why are honestly kind of unexpected. The girls on the show were dragged by online critics quite a lot for their actual hairstyles and color choices. But when the episodes first aired, no one really questioned the wigs too much. For a long time, people just chalked their weird hairdos up to some wild theories. Now that the older episodes of Teen Mom and its spin-offs are so much more easily available to stream online, more viewers were pointing out the wigs. And obviously, people have a lot of thoughts about them, and they have brought their opinions to the Teen Mom subreddit. What they've said about Chelsea's awkwardly styled wig is pretty insane. For a while, many people speculated that Chelsea's wig was just a bad practice attempt at an updo. She had been interested in learning to do hair and enrolled in cosmetology school eventually. But despite how possible it sounds, that wasn't the case. Even though some of Chelsea's hairstyles probably really were the result of her trying out something new, that wasn't the truth for her wig. And another fan theory was brought up about Leah's bleach blonde wig, and it actually seemed to make a lot of sense. Before season 2, Leah's hair had been a medium blonde with dark brown layer underneath, but by the season 2 reunion, her hair had been dyed such a platinum blonde that it almost looked white. So although not many people noticed her wig toward the end of the season, some did, and they were incredibly curious. When Leah dyed her hair to the point it was extremely light blonde, some viewers thought that she had seriously damaged it. They speculated that it had been fried by bleach, and that was why she appeared to have the strangely fitted wig in a few scenes. But that wasn't the actual reason either. For the most part, nobody caught on that the wigs even existed until more recently in the last couple of years. People started bringing their theories to TikTok, which is where the truth was finally exposed. A woman on TikTok with the username Angel Baby shared a couple of videos featuring the Teen Mom wig scenes. She pointed out just how noticeable Chelsea's wig had really been at the time, and her observation was absolutely mind-blowing. One of the TikToks was a scene from Teen Mom 2 season 2 episode 6. Chelsea was wearing her shiny dark brown wig while talking to her dad Randy. She mentioned that she was planning on dyeing her hair blonde, but at the time Chelsea didn't realize that she was revealing something astonishing. In the back of Chelsea's fake messy updo, there were strands of her actual hair sticking out from underneath. There was no mistake that her hair under the wig was clearly very blonde. So why had Randy acted so surprised that Chelsea was about to make so many changes when she obviously already had? Well, the same TikTok user shared another video last year, and the caption called MTV out for staging the wig scene. The user claimed that the network filmed those scenes later, and they had the moms wear wigs in order to make the timelines seem more believable. As bizarre as that might seem, what was suggested in the TikTok is actually completely true. A former Teen Mom cast member actually addressed the video, and you'll never guess who it was. Believe it or not, Janelle Evans confirmed the truth about the wig theory. She's no longer on the show, and all of her contracts with MTV were over in May 2021. So she was free to dish on the real reason for the wigs, which seems so noticeable looking back. Janelle said that MTV thought they were being sneaky by making the girls wear those cheap looking wigs, but the network's secret plan had been covering up way more than just hair color. This is honestly unbelievable. The truth about the wigs had pretty much totally exposed the reality show as being fake. MTV wanted the girls to cover their actual hair and hide the fact that those scenes weren't filmed in order. But the main reason for behind the scenes fakery is so crazy. Apparently MTV would go back and film additional scenes if the actual timeline didn't work with what they wanted to portray. Sometimes production would supposedly ask the moms to basically fake a conversation that had already happened off camera, but that's not all. If production felt like a storyline needed to show dramatic behind the scene details, they would have the girls reenact the situation. That's why it was tough for MTV to add anything later on if the moms dyed their hair before filming had wrapped for the season. Surprisingly, surprisingly, Janelle wasn't the first mom from the show to speak out about the wigs. Although Chelsea didn't explain the reason for her wig, she did bring up a few years after the episodes originally aired. She tweeted how she truly felt about it, and she did not hold back. In December 2016, Chelsea vented on Twitter about the wig she was forced to wear for her scenes. She clearly wasn't a fan of it because she actually called the wig disgusting, but what she said after that was more insane. Chelsea claimed that before she filmed the first scene with the shiny curly wig, she cried for an hour because it looked so bad, but she had already dyed her hair blonde, and MTV insisted that she had to wear the wig. Maybe she kept her hair red for so long during her final years on the show so that she wouldn't have to relive that experience. Looking back, there are a few other scenes from Teen Mom that appear to have also been filmed later. At one point, Chelsea looked like she was wearing another dark wig, but it was way less obvious. She even wore a hat on top, which definitely helped. Chelsea and Leah weren't the only moms who wear wigs, but I think theirs were probably the most noticeable. Janelle hinted at being made to film wearing a wig as well, but it's hard to tell when that might have been. Over the years, there have been so many wild hairstyles on the show. The girls changed their hair often, and some of their hairstyles were seriously intense. Before Chelsea settled into the red hair era, she had crazy blonde curls for a while, and we can't forget about Leah's crimped gel-covered hair. And of course, there was also an interesting range of experimental bangs, mullets, and poorly placed extensions. No wonder the strange wigs weren't so easily spotted right away. But anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Are you surprised to hear about the wigs and how parts of the show are fake? What do you think about MTV's reason for having the moms wear wigs to make the timeline seem less scripted? Let me know in the comments below.